that time? How do you get into the research?
Any of my books, I do a lot of research. If you read something in my books, it was true. Unless I say it, I always have a little disclaimer at the back saying, I made this part up because I needed it to fit in with everything else. I normally give you the research and how it's based on true history. And I do various stages of research. I start off by reading the background literature. I read biographies. For example, the Tuscan Child, I read the real books on the Italian campaign in World War II and on where the Germans had their line of defense. So I read all of that to start with. And then I go to the place. And it's usually somewhere I've been to before. And in the place I will go and I will walk the streets and I will visit the church, the churchyard, look at the graves, talk to local people, and just get a real feel for the place. Then, of course, with World War I and World War II, in Fairleigh Field, I went to Bletchley Park for a couple of days, and I, walked around, looked at all the records, looked at the room where they did the coding, looked at everything there. The most moving thing there that you will ever see is Alan Turing's teddy bear. That just broke my heart when I saw that, at Bletchley Park. I go to the Imperial War Museum, I've been to Churchill's war rooms, and also with World War II. I was a child right after World War II, and so I remember a lot of the, what it was like in the post-war time with rationing, and when there were bomb sites, fathers came home from the war, what they said. So, I have a lot of personal feeling for that. With World War I, of course, obviously, I didn't know anybody who was in World War I, but again, I went to the Imperial War Museum and read a lot of first-person accounts of what it was like in the trenches, what it was like at home. So I think everything I do is based very firmly on the truth.
That's wonderful. Do you have any upcoming events or books you'd like our listeners to know about?
Well, I have a brand new book that came out last week. It's called The Victory Garden. And it's about the Women's Land Army in World War I. So that was really interesting. It's the whole theme of this book is about, obviously, one girl's story and a very tragic, dramatic story. But it's about women who find themselves having to take on tasks that they thought were beyond them. When you have a whole generation of young men who would be the blacksmith, who will be the pub owner, all the tasks that the men did, and the women had to take them on. And it just shows an incredible feeling of what women bonding together can achieve. That's what the book is all about. I'm going to be at the Tucson Festival of Books all next weekend. I'm going to be giving several panels, and I'm on a really interesting panel called Women at War. It's myself and the writer of The Lilac Girls, so that will be very interesting to talk about. So I'm 3 days in Tucson, and then I'm doing something back in the Bay Area. But I'm not doing much for this new book because Amazon does such tremendous publicity for me. I just have to sit back and enjoy it, really.
Well, that's
I really
wonderful.
enjoyed, this last week I was number 1 in author rank on Amazon. The new book is in the top number 11 on Amazon charts this week, and it was number 6 on the Wall Street Journal. So it's had a very nice opening. I'm enjoying it.
Yes, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. And I say there's not much mystery in it, but I think it.
We read a little bit of everything. We just happen to really love mysteries. Historical novels are definitely way up there.
Me too. I love reading historical novels. I always have read them. And if you can get historical novels with that touch of mystery, then that's my favorite book.
Absolutely. Well, Rhys, we thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's been and my next Royal Spyness book that comes out in the summer. I think you're going to.
Yay! What's that going to be called?
Yeah, well, it's Georgie on her honeymoon, and her honeymoon is in Kenya, and so it's going to be called Love and Death Among the Cheetahs.
Oh, good title. Yeah, that mean Rhys is going on a research trip to Africa?
Well, I would have done. I was planning to, but my husband's health wasn't that great, and I didn't leave him for 2 weeks, so I'm afraid that the research trip there didn't happen. It involved an awful lot of reading instead, and I have been on safaris before, so I did know a bit about that sort of. I'd planned to go back, but I'm not leaving John for 2 weeks.
Well, we thank you so much, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, I will. You too. Yeah, I hope it's not too cold in New York.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye, Tracy. Bye.
That was a very good interview.
Yes, it was.
Rhys is a very talented writer. I fell in love with her back in the Constable Evans series days. I believe there were 12 books in the Constable Evans series. And
those are the ones I loved. I was sad when those came to an end.
They were in the Welsh countryside in a small village, and those were very well done. And then she began the Molly Murphy series, which was and still is, one of my favorite series. And Molly Murphy is an Irish immigrant who comes over here on the run from the law. She builds herself a life. She becomes a detective, and it's just, I believe there are 19 books in the series before, sadly, she's going to end those or put them on hiatus. She didn't say she was going to end them, but Molly
I think we better edit that out because we're not. Yeah. I don't want to upset her.
Well, she says it in the interview. Molly is married now and has a child and has responsibilities. She still has the Royal Spyness Mysteries, which follow the adventures of Georgie, who is a minor royal. She is one of Queen Victoria's grandchildren. She is way down on the list of succession to the throne, and her adventures are very quirky and very fun. Now she has sadly given up on series for the most part and is concentrating on doing standalones, which feature World War I and World War II. And these books are very, very well done.
As you would expect from Rhys Bowen.
Yes. And as she has always been a great storyteller where she can weave fact and fiction together in a fictional story, but have enough of a true happening or person in that story that you kind of wonder sometimes whether, is this all fiction or maybe it's taken from real life. Rhys does an excellent job of writing these books.
Well, I think that one of Rhys's strong suits is that she is very good at character developing, and especially with her series, you really care about all the people in the series, the minor characters, the major characters, and you can't wait to read the next one. If she is done with the series writing, it's the standalones will have to do.
Yeah,
we still get to experience her writing.
And she does an excellent job in character development. I started to care about Molly Murphy the minute I started reading, and then all of a sudden you have all these other characters that build onto that story. You've got Maeve, the nanny, you've got the little girl, Catherine, and you've got Frank Malloy, you've got her parents, you've got Sid, and so we have enjoyed Rhys over the years.
Definitely will enjoy her in the future.
And it was a pleasure talking to her, and I'm looking forward to meeting her in the future.
If you have never read Rhys Bowen, we suggest you go check her out, especially if you're an aspiring writer and are looking to write historical novels. You would truly be going right to the best if you check her out.
Because she takes you to that period in time. It's the turn of the century, and there's a lot of Irish immigrants coming over because of the potato famine, and she puts you right in that New York melee of all these noises and smells, and she describes them so beautifully that you feel like you're right there.
Yes, absolutely.
Rhys, thank you. We wish you many more years of writing.
Please. We will be devastated if you don't have many more years of writing.
And we will miss Molly as much as we miss Constable Evans, but we sure don't want to lose Georgie too.
Let me tell you how important a character like Constable Evans is. I stopped reading those when she stopped writing the series, but I think of him so often. I have a few characters in books that kind of stick with me, and his character sticks with me.
I think he and Hamish Macbeth are two of our favorite policemen.
Yes.
When we see
our great minds think alike. Absolutely.
These English Constable series, that's the first people we think of. Could that be Constable Evans? Could that be Hamish Macbeth? It's just, they grab your heart as well as your fiction mind.
So thank you, Rhys, for creating
such wonderful
Constable Evans
people.
And Molly Murphy and
Sid. And
well, that brings us to an end of our In Agatha's Footsteps. Keep with us because we have some amazing authors that we will be adding to our list of In Agatha's Footsteps.
And please listen for the next few weeks. We are going to dedicate several episodes of the podcast to the nominees for the Agatha Awards.
That will be given out at Malice Domestic.
We have interviews set up with almost all of them. We have award nominees this year.
Don't forget that we also have interviewed Alan Bradley, Victoria Thompson, Tess Gerritsen, and Hank Philippi Ryan. So if you want to go back and check out our back catalog, you can hear interviews with Hank Philippi Ryan and Victoria Thompson, and you just listen to Rhys Bowen.
Yes. So, but we do have interviews with almost all the other nominees for this year's awards, and you can meet them and hear a little bit about how they got started and about their books. And so we hope you'll listen to us and meet some of your new favorite authors.
Definitely.
And before we sign off for the day, I'd like to say a very, very special thank you to the author Ian Andrews from Australia, who
he sent us a handwritten thank you
and 3 lovely golden kangaroo pins for us, and we are very appreciative, and we thank him so much.
Yes, it was quite a surprise.
Yes, it was. We were flabbergasted when we got them, but
it's our first official gift that we received.
Yes, we love gifts. So, and
is that a hit, Mom?
Yes, and we want to make sure that we give him an extra thank you.
We have a picture that we're going to add to the website to show his gifts that he gave us.
If you'd like to see our pretty pins, be sure and check our website out. Thank you, Ian. So we thank you for listening. We hope you'll be with us next time. And remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery. Bye.